Greetings, evolving humans. Star Wars and Star Trek are not horror sci-fi genres, but both franchises are so large that they have produced some extremely terrifying ships. I will be leaving space stations such as the Death Star and Starkiller Base out of this for now. I'm also not emphasizing pure destructive power as much as the terror factor that these ships have. The Leviathan. The Leviathan first appeared in the game Knights of the Old Republic and served as the flagship to the Sith Lord Darth Malak, the antagonist of the game. This ship is from a period about 4,000 years prior to the events of the Star Wars movies. Although at 600 meters, its size is not comparable to the Star Destroyers we see in the Star Wars movies. Its menacing design elicits dread. Perhaps more intimidating is how Darth Malak used these ships to annihilate the surface of Terrace, a city planet comparable to Coruscant in population. The appearance of the Leviathan meant that Darth Malak was nearby, a foe no one looked forward to facing, the Scimitar. First seen in the movie Star Trek Nemesis, this huge ship was built in secret under the supervision of Shinzon to help overthrow the Romulan Senate, and eventually attempt to annihilate all life on Earth. This ship has a perfect cloak, adding to its menace. To have come to the realization that this ship was nearby without being aware of it is an unnerving feeling. It had 52 disruptor banks and 27 torpedo launchers. The firepower was far superior to anything in Starfleet at the time. It also carried several Scorpion-class attack ships. Its most powerful weapon was the Thalaron radiation emitter. A small amount of Thalaron radiation was capable of turning organic matter into ash. The Ravager. The Ravager made its appearance in the second Knights of the Old Republic game. It was present during the Mandalorian Wars, again some 4,000 years before the Star Wars movies. It was a 1,200-meter-long battleship that participated in the final battle of the war, where it was rendered a lifeless hulk. By the time of the game, it's quietly cruising the darkness between the stars, under its own inconceivable power. A true ghost ship, under the control of one of the most powerful Force users in all of Star Wars, Darth Nihilus. Darth Nihilus consumed life through the Force. His presence near a populated planet meant doom for anyone there. His uncontrollable hunger would kill entire planets. Nihilus could power and navigate his broken, unspaceworthy ghost ship purely through the Force. Ravager. Ravager appeared in Star Trek the Motion Picture. The ship or object that Ravager controlled was so large and powerful that it generated a cloud of gas and plasma around it that spanned over 82 AUs in diameter, which is the distance between Earth and the Sun 82 times. Judging by the size of the Enterprise in comparison with Ravager on screen, some estimates put Ravager's ship at around 90 kilometers long. What makes this ship scary is its sheer power, size, and mystery. Its plasma weapons could take out any ship casually and wipe out all life on Earth. Ravager was cold and uncompromising. No one knew what it wanted or why it needed to reduce all carbon-based units, or life forms as we know it, to simple data patterns. Its pure logic and machine nature saw humans as an infestation of the Enterprise. It was not until later that Ravager's true origins are revealed. Ravager was not defeated, but made to evolve into something beyond our understanding. The Eclipse Dreadnought or Superstar Destroyer. The Eclipse is a Legends or non-canon star dreadnought that appeared in the Dark Empire comics. Its size is comparable, if not larger, than Vader's Superstar Destroyer. It was every bit as well armed as an Executor-class star dreadnought, but with shielding so effective it could ram other capital ships without damage. It also had a small version of a super laser like those used on the Death Star. It was not quite powerful enough to destroy a planet, but it could crack the crust, rendering a planet uninhabitable. The Eclipse's black hull and ominous appearance meant doom for fleets of enemy ships. It served as the flagship of the resurrected Emperor in the Dark Empire comics. The Borg Cube. When the Enterprise D first encountered the Borg Cube in the Next Generation episode Q Who, Picard had to swallow his pride and ask Q for help. Who had gotten them into the mess in the first place? Picard admitted that they were afraid as the Borg Cube overtook them in pursuit. At 3 kilometers on all sides, it's immense, although not as large as some of the previously mentioned ships. What made the Borg Cube so intimidating was not its size, but what it was capable of. Sure, you can blow a few craters in its hull if your weapons are sophisticated enough, the first time. But it doesn't take much for the cube to adapt its shields to virtually anything you can throw at it from that point on, no matter how powerful. Even if you do manage to severely damage the cube, it can go on operating even if most of it is destroyed. It will simply regenerate or somehow regrow itself in very short order. Each Borg Cube had a crew from anywhere from 5,000 to 129,000 Borg drones. Each drone was part of a collective mind, with a unified intent. If just one Borg drone managed to get aboard your ship, it could begin assimilating the crew with Borg nanoprobes, and then take control of the ship itself. A Borg Cube could scoop entire colonies off of a planet and assimilate them. To give context, when the Borg tried to assimilate Earth, they felt it was necessary to only send a single cube, implying that it could assimilate the entire population of the 24th century Earth by itself. And the collective possessed thousands of these cubes back in the Delta Quadrant. The assimilation chambers inside a Borg Cube are a hall of biomechanical horrors. The assimilation process is gradual. The Borg nanoprobes infect the bloodstream and can cause implants to sprout forth throughout the body. But on a Borg ship, body parts are removed and replaced with biomechanical devices based on your designated function. The Borg also violate your mind, take all your knowledge, and share it with the collective. I believe the Cube is the most terrifying ship in both universes for us. In our increasingly wired society, the concept of the Borg strikes a chord of terror. Across the world, information is increasingly easy to share. Medical technology improves to make better and more effective implants. And personal privacy is increasingly precarious. Are we ourselves headed for a future in the Borg collective? Which ships do you think are the most terrifying in the Star Trek, Star Wars, or any other science fiction universe? Say in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Current works in progress are the Z-95 Headhunter, the most common and old but venerable starfighter in the galaxy, along with the most common heavy cruiser in the galaxy, the Rendili Dreadnought. Consider checking out the Patreon page. Your support on Patreon will help me dedicate more time to this channel. I'm very pleased with how this channel has grown. All the comments have been extremely entertaining. I would like to reply to all of them, but it's just not possible. So if I don't reply to yours, don't feel bad. Live long and prosper, and may the Force be with you.